Hello, hello, hello. This is America's Heroes Group Roundtable with Partner Veterans Business Project. February is African American History and American Heart Health Month. We are so pleased to be able to talk more about the Veterans Business Project 2020 updates. And on our live line, we are pleased to have Lynn Lowder, major U.S. Marine veteran, co-founder and co-CEO of Veterans Business Project. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Cliff.
Good, Lynn. Thank you. Also dealing with us, being with us, I should say, is Dale Eisenberg, son of a World War II pilot and co-founder of CEO of Veterans Business Project. Dale, how are you?
Just great. Glad to be here.
Good, good, good. I want you both to tell us as much as you can. Whoever wants to start off, please do so, because this is important. We want everybody to know about it.
Sure. Well, Cliff, I'd like to give a quick overview, if I can, of
who you are, Lynn. You will identify yourselves, please.
This is Lynn Lowder, CEO of Veteran Business Project.
Right.
Cliff, I just want to, as a quick review, tell people that we are, our mission is to get veterans into business. We offer free business matchmaking for veterans, a success manager like myself or Dale to help these veterans and their spouses through the process of looking for and finding a business. We help establish a plan of action for that. We offer ongoing mentoring throughout the entire buy-sell process, and we even assist in helping them find funding where needed. We have actually a couple of very, very exciting things to report. Before I do that, our phone number is 833-883-8249, and our website is at veteranbusinessproject.org, altogether, veteranbusinessproject.org.
Great.
Since we last talked, Cliff, we are having some conversations now with organizations that are really throwing their weight behind us so we can take our program all across America. It is growing every day. We are allied with the Department of Treasury right now and their Community Development Financial Institutions program. And that is, I think, the closest thing that we've seen to a very reachable and attainable aspect to financing so that veterans can really get the capital that they need to move forward in their business. If you don't mind, I'd like to toss it over to Dale because he's actually working on a couple pending deals right now that I think you'd find interesting.
Absolutely. Thank you. Dale?
Yeah, well, since we've talked last, Clip, the number of veterans coming to us has really been increasing, 2-3 a week just for myself. So right now I'm dealing with over 60 veterans looking for businesses at various levels and stages of their interest. So there's the couple that are pending right now should actually be completed in the next few months. But the one I wanted to mention in particular has to do with the Marine that came to us probably over 6 months ago. And he wound up coming out of the service. He was 100% disabled, and that was his rating. So he came to us and he said, geez, what can I do? I mean, he's not physically totally impaired, but his rating is indeed 100%. So what he did is he did a lot of research. We talked to him about franchises that might be good for him. He did his due diligence, and he's decided to become part of a national water filtration company. I think what's pretty exciting about it, and we've had other successes along the way, but I think his story goes a long way to offering inspiration to other veterans that, might be struggling. And I think Lynn will elaborate more, but really hope is at our core, and it's the reason we do what we do in Veterans Business Project. And I think Lynn can really go further into that.
It really sounds like there's some real progress, real progress going there. What else do we need to know, gentlemen?
Well, one thing.
Lynn?
Yeah, Lynn?
Hello, can you hear me, Clint?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sure. Building on what Dale was talking about, for this coming year, I sit on the Small Business Administration's Advisory Committee for Veterans Business Affairs out in Washington, D.C. We get together 4 times every year. This particular calendar year, which is my 3rd year on that committee, I am really leading the charge for the entire committee on veterans' access to capital. So the good news is more and more at the federal level, people are beginning to awaken to the notion that veterans really are more than ever important in this regard, and they're pulling out the stops to give veterans opportunities for real access to capital. What we think is where this is all going is that even the SBA is coming alongside us with regard to talking to the Department of Treasury and the Community Development Financial Institutions Fund. And that is the program that we have allied ourselves with practically, Cliff. This is a program that has been around 40 years. It applies to inner city and rural areas. It has the following criteria, basically. It's a max loan of $250,000. There's no FICO score. There's, I'd say, minimal collateral that's involved. And there is some rigor in terms of the paperwork and such that you go through, and we help people fill that out. This program has been around for 40 years, 40. And we just found out about it about 6 months ago. This is what happens sometimes, I think, in big bureaucracies where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, so to speak. Not being hypercritical here, but it is sometimes one of, in a big bureaucracy, people know what the other person is doing in that organization as a whole. So even though we're SBA, we're seeing that this Treasury Department program is the best fit that we have ever seen as yet for veterans to have access to capital to start their business, Cliff. It's a pretty exciting time right now.
That is amazing. The program has been around for 40 years?
40 years, Cliff. 40. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure have.
And you folks found out about it, and you're really making use of it.
We're kicking it in overdrive, I'll tell you. Here's something else I wanted to be aware of, and for the people listening. Right now, we have a entire wealth transfer situation going on in our country, Cliff. The average age for current veteran-owned small businesses, and we have got a lot of them here in Chicagoland, average age is 73. And many of these small businesses currently existing do not have a succession plan. By that I mean that it's not uncommon that the current owner-operator does not have a son or a daughter or a grandchild that wants to take the business. So there they sit. And we get calls from these people. They basically have heard about us, and what they'd like us to do is to find a veteran or two that they could talk to, and perhaps the veteran would be interested in taking the business forward. Now, that is the essence of what we call our V-Harmony program. We match veterans and their spouses that are looking to get in business with current business owners looking to sell. Now, this is a massive problem across the country, Cliff, massive problem. And we've had the state of California talk to us about helping them chart a course in this regard. We're doing the same right now for the state of Texas with some of their senior people, and we're doing it right here in Illinois, in our home state. So another way of saying there's lots of opportunity out there, and for veterans and spouses that are considering business, yes, it's America. You have opportunity here if you'd like to start a business, but why do that if there's a business that exists that you could take over? In many cases, too, Cliff, I mean, there are cases where even the current owners lend a hand on trying to help with making the financing easier. You get an existing customer base, and so the business is viable. It's not a startup. It's just a real smart play. And the truth is, nobody else is doing it. I like to make sure people know, too, we are a nonprofit. We don't get paid everything in this. This is what we do. We just happen to find a vacuum in our situation here in the small business sector that is not being addressed. And that's what Veteran Business Project is all about. And we greatly appreciate what you're doing here and helping us get the word out. There's opportunity here, and we need to take advantage of it. The veterans do. It's only right and appropriate that they be able to do this.
I think it's just amazing that people really need to know about it and to take advantage of it. Our call-in number is 312-374-8130. These gentlemen, Lynn Lowder and Dale Eisenberg, are giving us some information that is simply unbelievable. A lot of folks can take advantage of this, and hopefully they will do so. That's why we wanted them to come back. What else do we need to know, gentlemen?
Well, we talked about, Cliff, if people could come to our website, veteranbusinessproject.org, take a look at it, see what our V-Harmony project is all about. They've heard it, but they can review it. There are some businesses there that are up for sale. They can give us a call at 833-883-8249. Be happy to talk to them.
Is that 8249? Did you say? I'm sorry. 824. I had 8242. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's Cliff. It's 833-883-8249.
Okay, great. Okay.
And call them back, and I'm happy to talk to them.
That's great. 833-883-8249. Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah. I want to make sure I get that right. But this is just an amazing thing, and we're just so pleased that there are folks that are taking advantage of it. And it's, when you talk about what is needed or required, Lynn and Dale, to be involved in this program, you take care of everything. I mean, you really put people in the program, and most folks, obviously, based on what you're telling us, most people are successful. Is that correct?
Cliff, they really are. One thing to remember on this, I like to remind people, in the 9 years following World War II, Cliff, 49.7% of our veterans ended up in business for themselves, small businesses. Today, it's 4.5% because veterans have been struggling trying to get access to capital. The only way I can put a little emphasis on that in addition, Cliff, is that nowadays, as we all know, a college-bound teenager can go to school, apply for loans, and they don't have to have a credit score or collateral at all. But with veterans, they have to come up typically with a credit score of 680 and up, and they've got to have $1 for every 4 that they want to borrow. So it has not been happening with banks the way it ought to be, and that's why we've been looking for programs that are available out there, and here comes this CDFI program through the Treasury Department. It's just outstanding. What I'm saying is our country should afford every opportunity for our veterans to be able to have their dream, start their own business. I know you know that. You feel that way. So does Dale. So do I. So do a lot of people out here listening in. It's just that they don't know where to start. Now, it's taken us 7 years to get here, Cliff. 7 years. Wade through the swamp, so to speak. All the paperwork, all the regulations, all that stuff. I mean, it is a challenge, but we got there. So this has been a long haul, but we're getting clarity, and we want as many people to know, veterans and spouses out there, they've earned the right to have a shot at their own business. And if that's what they want to do, they should get behind it and go for their dream. Plain and simple.
Well, I think you gentlemen have done a great job, and you continue to do it. And the major thing, Dale and Lynn, is the fact that folks take advantage of it. Those people who are looking for that need to know exactly what you have out there. And how are we doing relative to people taking advantage of this wonderful thing?
Yeah, let me just Dale, talk about how many people are in the pipeline right now, and a couple of
Well,
the deals.
yeah, right now, just as I said earlier, my group alone is over 60, and it keeps growing every week. So it's been word of mouth. It's people that Google veteran and or veteran benefits, and will pop up. But it's certainly forums like this that gets our name out there through our website, and people that aren't veterans, they hear it and they tell their families about it, or their friends. Some of these young people are struggling to find their way, and this offers them a real opportunity and solution. So, please have whoever you can get the word out about us, and we appreciate that.
It's unbelievable when you think of the figures, the statistics of this, with the Veterans Business Project, and how much you folks have been able to really accomplish in getting it out. It's just a great thing.
Well, and it's really starting to grow now. It's picking up some momentum.
Yeah. When you talk, and you're talking about it's everywhere. It's access to capital in the inner cities, in the rural areas. It's something that everybody can take advantage of, right?
Absolutely, Cliff. This is Lynn again. There are businesses, let's just say, for example, that are veteran-owned on the south side of Chicago.
Beautiful.
Those people, they've worked hard in their businesses, they've got them established, they're set up, and like in many cases, as I said, we find out they've raised kids. The kids go to school. The kids are out, moved around different parts of the country. They don't want to come home and take over the family business, whatever it happens to be. That happens. That's a common message, by the way, just all over the country. People call in. That's a sort of a standard profile, Cliff. So they come to us and say, "Can you help us find a veteran?" Well, we've got veterans that are happy to take a look at the businesses. And we would much prefer, that rather than people just, they talk to us, they say, well, we want to find somebody. The kids don't want it. I guess we're going to have to close it down. And then, then that's the end of that. And we say, whoa, don't do that. Let us see if we can help you find a veteran who would be interested in buying your business. And we most always do, Cliff. So
that's
right
amazing.
Here in Illinois, in the inner city, in Chicago, rural areas, downstate, and so forth, there are businesses right now in inner cities and small towns that we can help them find a buyer for. That's what we want to do. It's the right thing to do.
I think that's a great program. I just commend you both for the work that you do, and I hope everybody heard what he just said. There are veterans businesses owned on the south side of Chicago. That's important. People need to really understand the fact that this is something that can be done by so many people out there who are unaware of it. We're just pleased to have them. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate you both for being with us. And
it's a pleasure.
We'll be talking again.